Some sound you never forget. A smoke alarm, a baby's first cry, and for a handful of people on a lonely stretch of highway, the sound of grinding metal followed by a sudden, deafening silence. For Sergeant Frank Reyes, it was the sound that ended his commute. 1 minute, he was just a guy in a pickup truck heading home after a long week, mind on tacos and Netflix. The next, he was slamming on his brakes, his heart hammering against his ribs. Up ahead, a car had swerved, hitting a guardrail and spinning into a dish. It was mangled, twisted, and a thin, terrifying wisp of black smoke was already starting to curl from under the hood. This is the moment of paralysis. You've seen it. Everyone pulls over. People stare, hands over their mouths. Others pull out their phones to record the tragedy. The civilian brain freezes. It tries to process the horror. But Sergeant Reyes's brain didn't freeze. It computed. While others were still processing, he was already out of his truck. Not jogging, not running, sprinting. Every step purposeful. His eyes scanning the wreck, assessing the threat, formulating a plan. The civilian in the pickup truck was gone. The soldier had taken over. He reached the car. The smoke was thicker now, acrid and choking. Inside, he could see a kid, a teenager, maybe 16, slumped against the steering wheel, dazed. First problem, the driver's side door was crushed shut. He yanked on the handle. Nothing. It was a solid wall of twisted metal. He braced his feet and pulled with everything he had. The car just groaned. Second, much bigger problem. That wisp of smoke was now blown. And at its base, he could see the angry orange flicker of flames. The teenager inside started to stir, his eyes wide with panic. He was trapped. Reyes shouted, his voice a command, not a question. "I'm getting you out of here. Are you hurt?" The kid was too terrified to answer. He just clawed uselessly at the door from the inside. Reyes knew he had seconds, not minutes. The fire was growing, a hungry hiss starting to build. He scanned the ground. No rock, no tire iron, nothing. This is the moment heroes are made. Not on the planet, not in the training drills, but in the seconds where there are no good options left. He looked at the passenger side window. He looked at his hands, and he made a decision. He didn't hesitate. He pulled his arm back and drove his fist into the tempered glass. It's not like in the movies. The glass didn't shatter into a million pieces. It started. A web of cracks appeared, but it held. The sound was a dull, sickening thud. A wave of pain shot up his arm, but he ignored it. He hit again. Harder this time. A grunt of pure, raw effort force from his lungs. The spiderweb grew. The flames were licking up the side of the engine now. The heat was becoming intense. He hit a third time, and a fourth. This wasn't about technique. This was about will. This was raw, brutal force fueled by the knowledge that a life was on the line. On the fifth strike, with a sound like cracking ice, the window gave way. Glass rained down into the car. Without pausing, Reyes was clearing the jagged edges from the frame with his forearm, not caring about the cuts. He reached in, unlocked the door, and ripped it open. He grabbed the teenager under the arms. "Come on, we gotta move, now." He hauled the kid out of the wreck and dragged him away, stumbling backwards, putting distance between them and the growing inferno. They were maybe 50 feet away when the car's tire exploded with a cannon-like boom. Moments later, the gas tank went. A monstrous fireball erupted, sending a wave of heat across the highway. Reyes lay on the asphalt, shielding the teenager with his own body, his chest heaving. The kid was coughing, crying, but he was alive. He was safe. Only then, as the sirens wailed in the distance, did Frank Reyes look down at his hands. They were a bloody, shredded mess. But the kid was alive. When the paramedics arrived, they tried to treat Reyes first. He just shook his head, gesturing to the teenager. "Take care of him."